on. Quick, over to Salzburg. It is our penultimate game tonight. And we're going to see now the world number one, Gerwyn Price, who'll be very keen to return to winning ways after missing out in the final of the World Grand Prix earlier on this month to Johnny Clayton, who's not here. Surprisingly failed to qualify, but there are only a couple of opportunities to do so. It's Richie Edhouse from Hastings who he's up against tonight. Here's John.
Hello and welcome back to the action. This is the Kazoo European Championship. It's brought to you by the Professional Darts Corporation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for our live audience and the millions of viewers joining us around the world, welcome to Salzburg, Austria! Time to meet the players. Please welcome ex-Madhouse, Richie Edhouse, and the reigning champion of the world, the Iceman, Gerwyn Price!
So we have an Iceman on the oche, and any minute now we'll have one in the commentary box, depending on his pace. Alan Warren a little will be right there, alongside Ned Bolting.
Thank you, Jackie. I'm sure that the other Iceman, the one from a little bit of a few years ago, is breathlessly making his way up to join me. In the meantime, though, from Van Gerwen to Gerwyn. These two titanic rivals, very much the defining players of this current scintillating generation, raise their game, the one after the other, and you can bet that Gerwyn Price on the practice board will have been watching on, albeit from the corner of his eye, to see how his big rival Michael Van Gerwen just performed some scintillating darts, particularly in the opening legs. Now, what can he do? The world number one, the world champion. Well, this time last year, he was just coming into one of the hottest streaks of his entire career. From September 2020 through to March 21, he won 7 PDC events in a row, including the World Championship. Up against this man, 32-year-old Richie Madhouse. Edhouse, who's something of an unknown. He's been scrapping his way to form, in and out of possession of his tour card, but a tough and experienced competitor nonetheless. With the darts in the first leg, and the other Iceman has made it to the commentary box. Looking forward to this, Alan.
Absolutely, always want to see the player in form, the world champion, the world number one. As you said, Richie Edhouse, dangerous player on his day, but he's up against a real competitor, a player that doesn't know when he's beaten. Even on the occasions he does lose, it's because his opponent has just raised their level.
97.
Seems to average around 100 on such a regular basis, and such a confident player he really is.
58.
Interesting to see how he does bounce back in the weeks and months to come from that defeat to Johnny Clayton in the World Grand Prix final. But I mean,
58.
He's experienced enough now, is he, Gerwyn Price, to take the defeats and the victories with a degree of equanimity. He can, you know, he's not going to lose his head just from losing one
95.
final.
Absolutely not. No, I mean, he performed great to get to the final, and particularly didn't play badly himself. It was just he was up against an inspired Johnny Clayton, and that particular set when he took out those big finishes
55.
when he was on a double, it was an incredible performance. But he just seems to do it on a regular basis. He's got so much confidence in his own ability.
96.
Well, they're just edging their way towards the finish line, both these players in the opener.
42.
That
When you
won't
require
help.
152.
Another one of those.
96. Richie
One of those
require
players that uses a
149.
16 target, probably more than most.
Well, it's not ideal from Richie here. He has
56.
given Gerwyn a big opportunity here. 56, tops it is. And tops he gets.
Gerwyn Price.
Didn't really have to work too hard either there, Gerwyn Price. The opportunity just kind of fell his way, courtesy of some moderate scoring from the man who had the darts in the first leg and has lost the advantage.
Yes, after 18 darts, Richie Edhouse will be disappointed he didn't have a throw at the double there. So he's 57. On the back foot very, very early in this match. Had a few 9-darters over the last couple of years, Richie Edhouse, but not always the conventional route.
No, it was Milton Keynes, wasn't it, in March this year? 174, 174, 153.
140.
A madhouse 9-darter.
Should go back upstairs here. Great last start.
137.
Big lead now. Richie Edhouse, I was commentating earlier on this afternoon, or this evening I should say, on Joe Mernon. And in some ways, not dissimilar his career, Richie Edhouse in possession of a tour card, losing it, getting it back. You know, real grit, real determination. But up against a formidable opponent here in Gerwyn Price, who, almost without noticing it, is in a 2-0 lead without really having to break sweat just yet.
No, playing terrific. 11-darter there. It's almost expected from the world number one now to have these big averages on a regular basis. It was always going to be a tough ask for Richie Edhouse.
That's better.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's better. In the game now. That'll wake him up in Salzburg and probably wake this man up as well.
Yeah, he's got the max, but he needs to get that leg on the board.
He's averaging 107 plus, Gerwyn Price, but it doesn't really look like he is at the moment.
40.
And yet,
no,
the facts don't tell a lie.
Yeah, finishing quickly, scoring very solidly. Obviously, 11 darts in that last one. So he's in 11, 28 darts for the first 2 legs.
Yet, despite all that, we have yet to see the Gerwyn Price roar to camera, with the neck muscles straining. Might see one from Richie Edhouse, though, a second maximum in this leg. And a big, big lead on his throw.
Yes, needs to tidy it up now and get his first leg on the board. Terrific scoring from Richie.
Richie require 41.
This will settle the nerves on it. Double 16. Down he goes. He doesn't get it done. Chance for Gerwyn now to really rub salt into the wound.
He'll fancy it as well. He's gone the 18 route, 4 18s. Well, no. Numerically, it's a good way to go, but it's strange when you look at the amount of darts you do throw at the treble 20 and you've almost found your range.
Yeah, good darts. Richie Edhouse needed that. Scoreboard instantly has a more settled look about it, and he's still in this game at 2-1. Gerwyn Price, though, with the darts and with the break of throw.
Well, 2 maximums in that leg from Edhouse, and he could have lost it.
Yeah.
So he's got to be a bit more consistent in his scoring. The doubles, though, it's hitting the doubles before you're giving your opponent another chance.
It's the difference between the champions and those who aspire to be in their place, as Gerwyn
doing a bit of juggling there.
Decides to involve a few exhibition skills there. Couldn't be another one, could it? It is, you know. 3 180s.
Yeah, he's certainly got his teeth well into this match now, but back comes the number one.
140.
Leaves himself a finish, but a chance for Edhouse if he can continue with the power scoring like he has done in the last 2 legs.
60. Go when you require 100.
The whole game has just gone up a little tick now, hasn't it, in terms of speed? The players not hanging around at all. Can't keep your eye off it. This leg is almost over.
Richie require 100.
Gerwyn Price on 75 now. Edhouse on a big check out. Not going to happen.
That's an important last start there from Gerwyn Price at treble 19.
58.
Otherwise, this would have been a much more difficult finish.
Well, treble 19, shakes his head. Staying down, is he? Treble 15, double 12.
51.
I'm surprised he went that route, because if he'd been a single 15, he wouldn't have been on a finish. Obviously felt confident enough to go that way.
With reason, with reason. Edhouse will invite him back. Good last dart from Edhouse.
Go when you require 24.
So double 12 it is to make it 3-1.
Games on the fourth leg.
And there is the first little fist bump. Gerwyn Price has built himself up a healthy advantage here. Remember, 1st to 6. This is the 5th leg. There'll be a break. Will it be 4-1 or will it be 3-2?
100.
Well, Gerwyn Price, this is his 7th participation in this tournament. His best performance in the European Championships came 2 years ago when he was runner-up to Rob Cross in Göttingen. So yet to win this title. And players like him, players like Gerwyn Price, it matters, doesn't it, Alan, that they pick up everything at some point in their career. They want to win the lot.
Well, of course they do. They want to go to every event, wanting to hold the trophy at the end of the tournament, the prize money, the prestige, the ranking points, and everything else that comes with it. And it's not just the winning the event, it's going on to the next one. It keeps that momentum going all the way through and puts fear in your opponent.
58.
As you said, his last TV major, beaten by Johnny Clayton in the World Grand Prix final. But before that, you know, what a run he's been on. He beat Mensur Suljovic in Gibraltar, beat Michael Smith in Hungary. Did lose to Dimitri van den Berg in the quarterfinals of the World Match Play. But he's been on good form.
Well, yeah, I remember that match with Dimitri. That was an outstanding game from both players. So players have to raise the game to beat
100.
the current best player in the world. And that's exactly what he is. Difficult to analyse sometimes, these early rounds, when the 1st to 6.
30.
I think we'll see a little bit more quality
80.
when we get to the later stages.
Always the way.
Games
What
on
a
the 5th leg.
confident, cool, calculating, calibrated finish that was from the Welshman. Gerwyn Price hasn't really been put under pressure here yet. It's a tall order for Richie Edhouse. And at the moment, as he goes to the break, 4-1 down, it looks like he has a mountain to climb here in Salzburg. Well, so far it's been business as usual for the world #1, Gerwyn Price, and it's been a struggle at times for Richie Edhouse to even hold on to his coattails as he seems to be steamrolling in and running almost unopposed to a seemingly straightforward victory. But you never know. 2 legs to close it out for Gerwyn Price. He has the darts in the 6th leg.
Yes, and almost without blinking, averaging over 102. Richie Edhouse has had his moments, particularly that little burst in leg 3 or 4 when he hit 3 maximums in a leg and a half.
100.
Yeah, that did indicate that something might change, but it's just been that consistency, Helen, that Gerwyn's first maximum, surprisingly, to match Richie's 3rd. But yeah, it's just been that consistent scoring that he's not been close enough, has he?
No, when you look at the averages, there's 20 points in the averages. That's a massive number when we've only played 5 legs.
134.
Very unassuming character, Richie Edhouse. Won his first tour card, I think, back in 2018, and spoke very frankly and honestly about how extraordinary it was to turn up at his first major events and see the likes of Michael van Gerwen there, Gerwyn Price himself, and all the big stars. A.D. Lewis couldn't quite believe he was there.
69.
Rubbing shoulders alongside them.
Well, you've earned the right, but then you've got to adapt
85.
to the professional game. You're going to come across the top players on a regular basis.
On the 6th leg.
Yeah, he's just making it look faultlessly easy at the moment, isn't he, Gerwyn Price? That leg went by in a flash, holding the throw. Breaks it here, it's all over.
Well, he's already had 3 maximums.
Great start for Richie Edhouse. Maximum number 4.
Only 140. Crazy.
100.
Sometimes this game makes no sense, Alan. It really doesn't. Almost that shake of the head almost says that much, doesn't it? How can you do that and then the next visit produces that? Just makes no sense.
No, it's crazy, isn't it, sometimes when we look at situations like you just mentioned there. We almost think, well, if you've done it with that 3, you can do it with every 3, but that's just not how it works.
Yeah. It's the madness, the frustration of this game of darts that anybody, whether they're world-class, playing down the pub, or absolutely hopeless like myself, can identify with. Just because you can do it once doesn't mean you can do it next time you pop up to the hockey. In my case, you can't even do it once.
I can verify for that.
100.
You vouch for me, will
I
you?
do apologise, but I have seen you play.
You normally avert your eyes. It offends your darters' aesthetics.
135. Richie
Well,
require
after 12 darts
106.
again, he's left tops. To save it.
Oh, that was
70.
unlucky. Missed
Yeah,
by
when
a
you
fair way
require
in the end, but it
40.
opens the door for Gerwyn Price to close it in his face.
20.
Which he just fails to do on this
Richie
occasion.
required
So,
36.
Richie Edhouse to hold, and to take Gerwyn Price into another leg.
Games
Yeah,
on
good
the
dart.
7th leg. Richie
Well, they got
Edhouse
there
takes
eventually.
Legacy to Poker.
Price will be disappointed. He's not shaking his hand and gone in the back room, but needs to fight away on this leg.
140.
Surprising miss, really, and the quality of darts he's shown in the match so far.
$140.
Good follow.
$80.
Just wants to make sure he keeps his concentration here, Gerwyn. He normally does, but... Well, are we going to see another one? There we go.
Well.
108.
Number 5. Now, by my reckoning, I don't think any player has thrown 5 maximum so far here in Salzburg in the opening round. Might be wrong, stand to be corrected, but I doubt it.
Yeah, certainly good when he gets in that treble, isn't he? But he just seems to lack that B throw, doesn't he? He can't seem to get regular ton 40s. And
It's a great way of putting it. It's either brilliant or
141.
a bit not so brilliant.
Which you require 138.
another one of those.
Needs to go.
Ooh. And again, Price has left himself tops after 12.
Go when you require.
Well, here
40.
he is again. Can he make it pay? Yes.
Game shot and the match.
Not once
Gerwyn
did we really see Gerwyn
Price.
Price give it a big celebration. Even that was slightly muted, and that just says that was more comfortable than he might have dared to hope for. Valiant effort from Richie Edhouse, but he was outclassed by the rampant Welshman. Gerwyn Price, here in Salzburg, is up and running and is going to be very, very hard to beat. We'll see him at the weekend.
We will see the world number 1 against the 19-year-old from the Czech Republic, Adam Gavlas. What a challenge that will be for the young man. But Gerwyn Price in fine form, and the fans too, compared to what he saw last week, something he wasn't too happy with. But hey, they appreciated what they saw tonight in Salzburg, and he's on his way. 6-2 victor over Richie Edhouse. Chris Mason was watching that. Thoughts?
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it? It was good. A little blip at the end. He had 3 match darts to win it 6-1, but showed experience and control in the final leg of that match there, just to see it out comfortably in the end. Very, very good performance. The big players tonight have all put down a little bit of a marker, including Michael van Gerwen in that match before. Yeah, it's going to be interesting tomorrow and Sunday because the big players look to be in good form.
104.53 average for...
Gerwyn, congratulations. Got to be happy with that performance, I would imagine.
Yeah, it was a steady performance. Wasn't spectacular, but I'd done the right things at the right time. I mean, he hit a couple of 180s, you know, I think in the one leg to win it, but yeah, I wasn't under much pressure. I know he's a better player than that, but I thought I was pretty steady today.
You must feel so confident going into every game, but in best of 11, there's always a danger. Everybody who's qualified for this is a very dangerous player, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the first round's always tough, and when they're little short sprints like this, but we're all used to it on the Pro Tour. It was week in, week out, but as long as you're on your game, you win, and I was on my game sort of today, but there's plenty more in the tank.
It's a strange weekend. There's a lot of players making their debuts at the tournament, but we've got you here. We've got Michael van Gerwen playing well, both in the same quarter of the draw as well.
Yeah, but it was only 2 European events this year, so a lot of people, I know Johnny Clayton, Dimitri Van den Berg, who probably didn't have much of a chance to get in. You know, it was, like I said, it was only 2 tournaments, and if it was a lot more, them boys would have been here. But you know, I'm glad they're here, really, especially Johnny.
Well, yeah, you mentioned Johnny. I know he beat you in the Grand Prix final, but that's pretty much could have been the only game you've lost in the last few weeks. You know, it's been an unreal spell of form you're in.
Yeah, I'm full of confidence. I'm playing half decent at times and playing well most of the time. But yeah, and fair play to Johnny last week. Played fantastic to beat me, and take my hat off to him. But yeah, like I said, I'm glad he's not here this week. But I'll have him next time.
It was good tonight. Well played.
Cheers.
Johnny will be chuckling away at home watching that. Yes, you can't beat him here this weekend. There was only those 2 events in Gibraltar and Hungary, and we'll see Johnny again soon. So I hope you're enjoying your weekend ahead, Johnny. But yeah, those are the stats: 104.53 average, just the 118.